The location of the Garden of Eden. Where exactly is the location of the Garden of Eden? The Bible contains a number of secrets and mysteries. On the other hand, one question that a lot of people ask is, what is the location of the Garden of Eden? In order to find the answer to this question, we will have to conduct some forensic research. First, let us go to the Bible. Eden was the name of a region of the earth when God first created the world. The Hebrew word translated Eden is taken to mean pleasure or delight. In this area, God planted a garden. In this place, God spent time with the first man, and they had a direct relationship. The Garden of Eden is notable for several reasons. First and foremost, it was planned and planted by none other than God Himself. Second, is that it was the first home of mankind. The only thing the Bible tells us concerning the Garden of Eden's location is found in Genesis chapter 2, verses 10 to 14. Now a river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pishon. It flows around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. The bdellium and the onyx stone are there as well. The name of the second river is Gihon. It flows around the whole land of Cush. The name of the third river is Tigris. It flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Bible describes this region as having 4 rivers and an abundance of resources, including gold of a particularly high quality and gemstones. Although the identities of the Pishon and Gihon rivers are unknown with absolute certainty, the identities of the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers are common knowledge. The key area in the map of the Middle East is what geographers call the Fertile Crescent, the band of fertile land which stretches from the River Nile in Egypt in the west, northeast through the land of Israel, and then south and southeast to the plains surrounding the rivers Tigris and Euphrates in what used to be called Mesopotamia, which means the middle of the rivers, Meso, middle, and Potamia, rivers. If the Tigris and Euphrates rivers mentioned in the Bible are the same rivers that are known by those names today, then the Garden of Eden must have been located in the Middle East. However, even a modest flood in a localized area can alter the path that a river takes, and the flood that occurred during Noah's time was more than just a localized flood. We know modern rivers today, such as the Tigris or Euphrates, because Noah and his sons named some rivers in the post-flood world after familiar pre-flood rivers. The deluge completely changed the topography of the earth. Because of this, the original location of the Tigris and Euphrates is uncertain. In the same way that Bethlehem in Pennsylvania was named after the town in Judea, it's possible that the modern rivers that we call the Tigris and the Euphrates are simply named after those that are associated with Eden. For centuries, people have looked, but they have not been able to find the Garden of Eden. There are a number of locations that are rumored to have been the original site of Eden, but nobody knows for sure. What became of the perfect garden in the beginning of time? There is no explicit statement to this effect in the Bible. There is a good chance that the garden was obliterated in its entirety by the flood. So if we cannot locate the former Garden of Eden, the great question we should ask ourselves also is whether we will ever experience another Eden. A new Eden, you may say. Restoring our fellowship with God through faith in Jesus Christ is the prerequisite for entering the eternal garden that God has prepared for us. In the New Jerusalem, there is a river with the water of life, clear as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and of the Lamb. Revelation chapter 22 verses 1 to 3. And he showed me a river of the water of life, clear as crystal, coming from the throne of God and of the Lamb, in the middle of its street. On either side of the river was the tree of life, bearing 12 kinds of fruit, yielding its fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. There will no longer be any curse, and the throne of God and of the Lamb will be in it, and his bondservants will serve him. The Bible begins with the tree of life, which man was not allowed to eat from after the sin of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Our eyes are once again drawn to the tree of life. Seeing the tree of life again points to a restoration of all things. Now at last, almost at the end of the great drama of the Bible, man may return and legitimately enjoy the blessing which he was banished for illegitimately desiring. Preston Hansen. The Garden of Eden is still longed for by a lot of people. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11. He has made everything appropriate in its time. He has also set eternity in their heart, without the possibility that mankind will find out the work which God has done from the beginning even to the end. The Garden of Eden, that place of pleasure and delight, we lost because of our sin. And God, in his mercy and grace, will restore it to us on Christ's behalf.